Hello and welcome to interest.co.nz. I'm Gareth Vaughan with another of our double shot interviews, and I'm joined by Andy Symons, who's the Director of Retail Banking at BNZ. Welcome in, Andy. Thanks
Hi Gareth, how are you?
Look, obviously, big news last week with the Reserve Bank putting the official cash rate up. We are being told by every economist and their dog that this will be the first increase of many. Obviously, BNZ has reacted like almost all the other banks, I think, except for Westpac thus far, with some increases to your floating and fixed mortgage rates, but an actual cut of 6 basis points to your 3-year fixed rate, which was interesting. So I'm just curious as to what's driving your strategy as we, I guess, go into this, we're now in this first interest rate rising environment since 2008.
Look, we're in growth mode. We're getting a lot of customer inquiry on the basis of some really innovative products and services. So we've also been working towards preparing for OCR increases to begin for quite some time. So what we were doing was taking an opportunity to hold off for a few days, think through which rates we needed to increase and where we could retain some very sharp rates in the market. One of our considerations for existing BNZ customers and customers who might be interested in bringing their home loans to the BNZ is to put some good options into market and some sharp rates to help people manage the transition from historically low rates to what I think over the course of this year are rates that will be higher than where we've seen them in the last 2 years.
So that 3-year period, I think your 3-year fixed rate is the best carded rate from any bank at the moment. Is that a particular area that you're going to be targeting?
That seems to be in the 2 and 3 year period still seems to be a very popular rate for those customers who are looking for some fixed certainty. One of the things we did see, however, last week was an increasing number of customers choosing to keep a portion of their lending on a variable product like our total money offsetting product, and at the same time look at fixing some of their debt into a rate like the 2 or 3 year rate, which gave them some certainty. So splitting between variable and fixed also very popular.
And we saw you put up a couple of term deposit rates. Can we expect to see more increases in coming months on the term deposits? And I mean, do you think overall we're going to see most of the OCR increases pass through both on the mortgage side and the TD side?
I think you'll see all banks in this competitive market keen to pass through deposit rates where they can, and we've got an incredibly loyal base of deposit customers, and we're very keen to pass on benefits to them as quickly as we can. We're very keen to see people in New Zealand accumulating more savings, saving more, and that's one way that we can incent them to do so, provide really good rates in the market.
So we can expect to see more term deposit rate increases?
At this stage, yes.
Soon?
I can't say. We're very much watching and reviewing our strategies week by week as the different levers and factors at play out.
And obviously one of the big issues that yourselves and all the other banks have been grappling with in recent months is the loan-to-value ratio restrictions on high loan-to-value ratio lending on mortgages. Now, you're going to be measured on this for the first time at the end of this month. How's BNZ tracking?
Look, we're tracking very well, and we're extremely comfortable that we have gotten a good balance of meeting as many customer needs as we can while staying within the frameworks or the limits set by the Reserve Bank, which is the key consideration for us. It's been a brutal change, and there was not a lot of lead time to prepare for it. I'm very pleased with the way that it's been implemented and very comfortable that we will meet the Reserve Bank guidelines easily.
Now, the Reserve Bank is helpfully putting out data monthly in terms of where the banks as a collective are at. And the last figure, I think, was just under 4% of new mortgage lending was high LVR lending. So there is a bit of capacity there for banks to increase. Do you think we could see a bit of marketing around high LVR lending again once we get through March 31st and there's a bit more certainty for banks?
Yes, I do. I think with the data that the Reserve Bank puts out, there is sometimes a difference between the volume done in any particular month and the average volumes that the banks are looking to achieve over that first 6-month period. It is, though, a function of the total lending that you do, and as different banks have growth months or growth periods in the below 80% LVR book, they will create the capacity to do business in the above 80% LVR book. And there is a lot of awfully good quality above 80% LVR lending out there to be done. We need to be careful not to overly assume that above 80% LVR lending is poor quality lending, because for a variety of reasons there are many people out there looking to borrow above 80% LVR, and they are good, safe deals, and it is the right thing to do for the customer.
Now, just talking off camera before, I know you were talking about your app, and you won an award recently. I was keen to have a chat about digital banking, so we'll let you begin with that. So
yeah.
What did you win, and how significant do you think this is for BNZ?
Last week we won the Net Guide Award for New Zealand's favourite mobile app of the year. That is the result of 3 years of focusing on building great digital capability in the bank, and recognising that banking moving forward is going to be about having great store presence, great contact centre and call centre capability, as well as digital channels becoming more and more important in banking. Within that, we've recognised the need to work hard on the website, on internet banking, but then the mobile app, we saw quite some time ago a trend towards the mobile app. We invested in development of our mobile app, and we've been recognised as having New Zealand's favourite mobile app. The good news for me in that is that the development of our app has been completely customer-led design, and I think it's great to see in a market where there are a lot of great apps out there from some very funky companies, it's great to see a bank actually being awarded the gong for having the public's favourite app, as the result of having listened to customers and built an app that actually allows them to be good with their money.
Now, one of the interesting things, obviously, around the move to digital banking and mobile apps is revenue and where that comes from. One of the things that came out of the recent KPMG FIPS report was that the main use for a lot of customers with their mobile app is to check their bank balances, which obviously is not a huge revenue spinner for banks. So what are you seeing in terms of digital revenue at BNZ, and where do you see areas where you can source this in the future?
Look, I think there's two ways of thinking about that. One thing that it is doing is moving a lot of low value, high volume transactions away from our people or our assisted channels, so our stores and our contact centres, and that's good because that gives us the capacity to have better conversations with customers, to better understand their needs when we're working with them face to face. So that's one aspect of it. I think the other aspect of it though is that it has very quickly become a hygiene factor that a bank will have a good app that allows you to do things like check your balance frequently and proactively prompt you around events that are happening with your money. So therefore, I mean, the way we're currently thinking about it is it's a hygiene factor. We need to have that great app in order to build a relationship with a customer. Once that relationship is in place, we are then working towards meeting other needs that the customer might have. And if the app is compelling, it's part of the equation of why a customer banks with the BNZ and gives us the opportunity longer term to then start meeting other needs, which might be producing more direct revenue for the bank. Then that's the play.
So that's sort of drawing them in, and then maybe, getting them as home loan customers, or...
You're not going to acquire and retain customers who will be future revenue earners for the bank without some great digital capability and a great mobile banking app. As well as that, we are starting to think more and more about the kinds of things that people will be wanting from a bank's mobile app in the future. And I do think that we will see a move towards less things that people do with a mobile app that are low value, some more higher value, maybe even subscription fee type things flowing out of the relationship that we have with customers via the mobile app.
Any sort of subscription services that you have in mind?
I think one thing that people are always interested in is benchmarking themselves as individuals or as a small business owner against other customers who might look a bit like them or operate similarly to them. So one of the things that we see happening around the world is a tendency towards subscription services allowing consumers to understand how they look and how they operate and how they work with their money as compared to other people who might look like them.
That's interesting. Now, we've also got, obviously, all the banks are looking at the digital space at the moment, and we've had Westpac recently talk about Google Glass and iBeacon technology and bringing this in. and ASB talking about Estimate, which is I think similar to iBeacon from what I can gather. I'm just wondering what you guys are looking at, if you're looking at any particular new technologies at BNZ at the moment.
Look, on an ongoing basis, we have people looking at emerging technologies. We have people building prototypes. So we have prototypes operating with iBeacon type solutions. We're working with wearables. We're working with voice control as well at the moment. And in fact, we've just had a team of people from our digital team at South by Southwest, one of the world's leading edge technology conferences, looking at what other people around the world are doing. The important thing to us is to experiment and to work with these new technologies so that we can understand them and then identify opportunities to actually create real benefit for people every day with those technologies, rather than making a brand new technology which might only be applicable or impactful for a small number of customers, a platform. With UMoney, the app that we won the award for, we've had a very careful strategy to make sure that we were focusing on creating benefit in the way that people manage their money every day for a large number of customers. If we can then complement that with technology such as Google Glasses and iBeacons in the future, we will. But the key thing is being able to help a lot of customers be good with their money through a basic app which is helping them with basic everyday banking needs.
Well, thanks a lot for that, Andy. That's Andy Symons, who's the Director of Retail Banking at BNZ, and I'm Gareth Vaughan at interest.co.nz.